I'm back! Again. Yes, YouTube. It's good to be back. Glad all three of you are still here. Now, I won't waste time. Let's get to the question of the hour. Where did you go? Again. Well, quite simple. I got insanely busy. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like. But seriously, these past 5 months have been filled with excitement, pain, new memories, and broken spirits. And since I was an idiot and never recorded any of it, that won't matter soon, but I won't spoil it. I'm gonna do a little doodle storytime video instead. Watch your back, James. A new contender's in the ring. So let's start back all the way at the tail end of February. It was a normal day, laying around thinking video ideas I probably won't make, when suddenly I see a Twitter notification pop up on my phone. Anyone got any experience with Blender? From who? Well, just a YouTuber I've been watching for years, Corey Coyote. So I think to myself, I know Blender, and hit him up. I expected he was just trying to learn the program or just needed help figuring out something with the files. Turns out, he wanted to get his and a few others' models ported into Grand Theft Auto 5. He had the video tutorials ready and everything. And me, being the idiot I was, said, of course, yes, for you I will do anything. But really I was like, yeah, I can do that. And we were off to the races. Now here's the kicker. I've never modded anything in my life, but I know Blender, and I'm a stubborn son of a gun.
You thought I was gonna say a son of a bitch.
So I got to work. And I quickly gotta give a shout out to NC Productions, the dude who made the tutorials. Without that, this whole project wouldn't exist. Okay, bye. Now, don't expect me to explain step by step how I did all of this. That would make this video far too long, so I'll just give a few cliff notes. Basically, I had to take a model such as this, plop the GTA armature onto it, and make it look pretty. Sounds simple, right? I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. Not a single person watching this video thinks 3D modeling stuff is easy. And of course, it was worse than you may think. Program's not working, weight's not applying properly, floating models, texturing issues, and whatever's going on here. So many issues kept popping up every day. When I thought I fixed one thing, another came. I was so sick of staring at this model. But after 2 months of crying, screaming, excessive swearing, and starting over multiple times, I finally got a first model into the game. Look at it! That's progress, alright, but we can make it even better in time. Now, with the base knowledge I needed, I can start porting other models into the game, which then I go back and remake every single model again and again, because I'd learned something new that would make the end product even better. The face bones are simple, and I couldn't manage to get the tails to move really, but I was still rather happy with how the results were going. Oh, and should I mention that I was struggling to make content for this channel while also streaming on Twitch during this process? Yeah, you know that already? Well, how about if I told you I decided to make a second channel for gaming while I was doing this? Would you believe me if I'm genuinely a masochist at this point? So, with a heavy heart, I decided to cease all my creative endeavors until this project was done. I worked hard, day after day, working on the models, creating their components, baking their textures, and getting ever closer to the finish. And finally, the day came. I had done it. The models I'd been asked to do were complete. I could finally send them, they could be put into the server, and that's when everything went horribly wrong. I'm joking, it was pretty smooth. The models looked great in the game. 6 months of hard work finally paid off. But of course, I wasn't done, because of course I wasn't. Other people wanted more outfits, new people wanted their models in the game. But it's fine. I'd gotten rather good at the process at this point. What mattered is that I was finally done. And what better? I got to actually play with people I'd been watching and admiring for years. That's reward enough for all the hard work. At the beginning of this year, there was a meme like, "This sculptor made these when they were 23. What's your excuse?" Well, I turned 23 this year. Seems my masterpiece has finally come. Things were finally starting to look up. September 4th. A lovely day of being in the server and enjoying some fun with everyone. During which I was recording using Streamlabs replay buffer to get some clips and perhaps even make my own video to put up on my practically dead gaming channel. We were all laughing and enjoying ourselves. That's when I got an error from Streamlabs. The recording had stopped because my flash drive had filled up. Oh, well that's fine. I could just move it to my other drive to get a new remaining clips. Remember when I said this? That won't matter soon, but I won't spoil it. A few hours later, upon going to move my clips from my smaller flash drive to a larger one, I see this. What? I can't click it. It won't let me see anything. I restart my PC, I take the drive out and put it back in, but nothing seemed to work. Even after extensive testing with 2 friends with varying methods, it was determined I was physically unable to access the flash drive. We're still pretty positive the files are still stored on it, we just can't access it. You're probably thinking, well, it's just recordings and clips. You can just make more content in the future. And you're absolutely right, it's unfortunate, but not the end of the world that the flash drive was lost. Some old thumbnails are gone, that's fine. I was gonna redo some anyways. Old video files are gone. I'm not sad about that because I'm moving away from Premiere anyways. Video assets and music, all able to be gotten easily. Every single model. Every Blender file. Every original version. All textures. Assets. Everything I had been accumulating and working on for the past 6 months. All of it gone. This was devastating. So much work and so much history now locked away on a device I couldn't access. Of course, I could look to a company that could retrieve stuff like this, but they were asking a price that was upwards of 7 times the amount I was paid to do all the models in the first place. Doesn't seem worth it to me. What was not lost though, there was still a spark of hope. Codewalker, the program used to manipulate the game files and mod the game for testing. It still had every single model in it. It still had the mesh and textures ready to be exported and brought back into Blender. Of course, the import didn't work perfectly. Extra edges were added, some islands of the UVs were separated, but what mattered was that we had all the models and we could still work on them. That is, except for one unfortunate loss. So here's the model I made for Ray. Looks alright, I'd say. I learned a lot from models I ported on how to do mesh and applied that to what I had already learned in the past. I was pretty proud, but here's an interesting thing about these models, especially when porting them into GTA. When there's clothing in a component, typically the body mesh is removed underneath to prevent any clipping and to make the file size smaller. For Ray, this is the same, but remember, I lost all the original files, so his entire lower body is completely gone. My only choice is to either completely remake the model or attempt to make the lower half, redo all the weights, and whatever else needs to be done. This was the part that hurt the most. My own personal model, broken and practically lost. And that brings us to today. Most of my reworking for other models are done, Ray is still without a lower body, and I've met some amazing new friends along the way. My work is still far from done, may never be done in all honesty, but I'm not complaining one bit. I've learned so much from these months, and at the end of it all, I just really wanted to get back to working on YouTube again. I still have my huge list of ideas. I want to make those videos. I want to play games for my other channel, which you should totally subscribe to. I want to create something. And after this video finally gets made and released, I can do just that. All the pain has led up to this. But hey, you don't truly live unless you've suffered. You don't learn unless you get hurt. And if there's one lesson I've learned throughout this journey, it's to always look for your opportunities. Be patient, and they'll reveal themselves. And a second lesson I learned, back up your files! Hey, thanks for sticking to the end of the video. I know I've been gone a while, and trust me, I've been wanting to be back for a while now. This video has taken forever to finish. And what time to come back? It's October, and we've got a very special movie right around the corner. So we are back in full swing, and soon enough that gaming channel will be back up and running again too. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming in the future.